But we're here. So, Nick, how is everything? I heard you are off the fly list, but you just said you're on another list?
Yeah, so they took me off the no-fly list, which, they don't tell you you're on it, but they did tell me that I'm off of it. But now I'm on the Quad S list, which is SSSS, 4 S's. And so I can still fly, but now it's just a whole ordeal. Every time I go to the airport, I get patted down. They check everything in my luggage. They literally open up my luggage, take everything out, all my clothes, all my toiletries. And then when I get to the gate at the airport, then they check everybody again. They check everybody's IDs. They check bags randomly, pat people down. And that's just because I'm on the plane. They'll check everybody on the flight. So I can fly, but, they never really let you go.
Quad S, what does that stand for?
I think it's secondary selective security screening. So I don't know if the order's right, but I think those are
Dang, so flying, how long will it take you to get on the plane?
It takes me like 2 hours.
Yo!
Yeah, it's brutal. That's because it's not, already it's not fun to fly. You already got to get there an hour before, but I can't even print a boarding pass. Usually you get your ticket, you check in 24 hours before. I can't check in. I have to go to the customer service desk, and they're on the phone with security for 45 minutes, and only then can they print the boarding pass. That's just for openers.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, he's more banned than me, guys. I got stopped on a plane once in Chicago. Actually, I was hanging with you when I was there. When I tried to get back on American Airlines, they said I was blacklisted.
Really?
Yep. Then I made my Twitter followers harass them, and they let me on the plane.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Because they didn't warn me. So they had to let me on because they didn't warn me.
Oh, I got you.
You need to send a warning or something. I can't just walk up there and you blacklist me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's kind of crazy. But, that has to be nuts. So how does that feel to be that much of a banned person? Like you have to go through all that to fly. Like you're not treated like a regular citizen.
Yeah, no, it's true. I in a sense don't have the same civil rights as everybody else, and it's unfortunate because it's a big part of my business to fly. Traveling's a big part of it. So for a lot of people, that wouldn't even be a huge inconvenience. But for me, it's like life-changing to be on the no-fly list. It's in a sense life-changing to be subjected to that, as well as everything else under FBI investigation, subpoenaed, all that kind of stuff. So it's brutal, and it's all political. I think that's the worst part is if I was some kind of terrorist, okay, but I'm a political activist, and it's targeted based on, my political identity. So can you really say we live in a free country if dissent brings that level of scrutiny? That's the problem.
I agree. I do not. I think the way we view freedom in this country is unrealistic. And I think the only people that I think it's an illusion, and I think the only people that don't understand it's an illusion is the people that don't get persecuted, who don't go through anything. You know what I'm saying? When you see people actually getting censored, and then you think, oh, it's just social media, but then you can't even get on a plane like a regular human being. Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People think it's just, you get banned on Twitter, big whip, but it's so much deeper than that because it's the back end tech services too. It's also things like Airbnb, it's Uber. And then you then take it to the level of the legal persecution where you get federal law enforcement. And so, maybe 6 years ago, it was a Twitter ban. Now you're banned from PayPal, Stripe, Bank of America, Uber, Airbnb. You're banned from domain registrars. You're banned from CDNs, payment processors. Then you're banned from flying on a plane. At what point do you say it's not a free country? I think we're there.
So how do you think we can overcome that or move past that? Or do you think it's just simply gonna get worse? Because I'm a realist. People think I'm a pessimist, but I'm not. I'm a realist. And just when you see the trajectory, the trajectory is going one way.
Right.
How do you think we can overcome this aspect of it? Not saying we can't start movements, not saying the movement can't grow. I'm saying get past that part of it, though.
I think we just have to win because the problem is that our enemies control all the institutions and they control all the levers of power. And as long as that is the case, they're going to use those things against us. So if they're in control of the government, they'll use the government. If they're in control of the media, they'll use the media. So I think we really just have like one last chance in this decade to turn things around, or else really we're doomed. And like you said, I'm just sort of realistic about it. And some people think we could just run away. We just got to move to a farm or something and lay low.
That's me.
The problem is the cities and the power centers, they project power over the whole territory. And so
true.
it's like, in the Russian Revolution, they took over St. Petersburg and then they took Moscow. And then a civil war took over the entire country. And then it was
true.
people even in Ukraine, farmers, peasant farmers who were being affected by the communist revolution. And so, ultimately, they're not just going to leave us alone. So it's either we got to get in there and do regime change, meaning peacefully, of course, and reform, or I think we're all doomed and we just got to run for the hills.